Nigeria, a vibrant tapestry of places, people, stories, struggles, and unshakable spirits. Politicians make promises, but who really holds them accountable? I'm Tony Kobara, and this isn't just about politics. This is about us. This is where we confront the hard truths that few say publicly. Hello everyone. Welcome to Nigeria Unfiltered, my new weekly slot about goings on in the largest country in Africa. I'm in a very, very, very agitated frame of mind at the moment because the president of Nigeria, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, has declared a state of emergency in Rivers. I didn't see this coming, to be honest with you, because if you look at my last two Wednesday shows, you will see that I have been covering the fight between Nyesom Wike, the governor of FCT, and his former protege, the current governor of Rivers State. And I've complained about things like clearly slanted Supreme Court judgments in favor of Wike, and I have accused President Tinubu of being clearly biased in Wike's direction. But I thought they were going to spend the next few days or weeks trying to impeach the governor. I had no idea that all of a sudden they would decide that Rivers State had descended into a state of anarchy, and then they were going to shut it down and appoint a military administrator, a former naval officer, whom I've got nothing against, by the way, but I just don't think that this is an appropriate reaction to a crisis that was generated by Tinubu and Wike. You see, I'm actually literally trembling with rage, so I'm not going to be particularly coherent today. I have said all along that any problem Wike had with Fubara, the governor who's just been suspended and replaced by the military administrator, I've said all along that the problem between them may be entirely, Wike's grievance may be justified, at least to some extent, but that does not justify dragging an entire state of millions of people into a private quarrel. The economy of Rivers State is badly affected by this kind of drama, toxic melodrama, and it's gone beyond melodrama into the realm of tragedy. So I thought they were going to sort of like impeach him or try to impeach him and, just be ding dong, and all kinds of rubbish. I did not know that Tinubu would just wake up yesterday and decide that Rivers was ungovernable without this very drastic move. Now, it's actually just past midnight, and this declaration of the state of emergency happened just a few hours ago. And I want to ask President Tinubu and Minister Wike, what have Rivers people done to you that they should be so shamed, traumatized, and undermined in this way? Why should our economy take a hit? Why should people's morale be dragged through the gutter? Just because you have a problem with Fubara. Look, one of the things that made me very angry after the video I put out last week was that a couple of Wike supporters contacted me, people from my part of Rivers State. I am an Ogoni, and two Ogoni supporters of Wike contacted me and said, we see that you have now become a mouthpiece for Ijos, because Sim, the governor, was Ijo, or is Ijo. So I said, I'm not a mouthpiece for Ijos. I barely mentioned the Ijos in any of my interviews or podcasts or articles that I've written. And I've made it very clear that I'm standing for Rivers State, not for any ethnic group. I'm not going to stand for any politician. I'm not even particularly in favor of Sim per se, because I don't know him. I've only met him for about a few seconds once. And I'll be honest with you, I never wanted him in the first place. In 2022, when Wike selected him as the candidate for the party he belonged to at the time, I remember thinking, why did he pick him? This is someone we've never heard of before. He doesn't look particularly agile. If he's, he's likely to be, I didn't warm to Fubara. And nothing that has happened since then has made me think, oh, Fubara is my type of person. I've never had a chance to get to know him. And so I never became his friend. So when I stood up to protest about Wike's constant assaults on Fubara, I was protesting on behalf of Rivers State, not on behalf of Fubara. I was protesting, I was a mouthpiece for the decent people in Rivers State who are from proper homes and do not think that money and political power are everything, and do not think that it's okay to resort to all kinds of murky tactics just to win some battle that should really be a personal thing and has been expanded into a thing that affects everybody. I stand for Rivers people, as I said, from proper homes. At least, I'm not saying that the people who are supporting Wike are not from proper homes, but if some of them are, they are betraying the values that prevail in proper homes. Just this attitude that anything goes so you can win. The end justifies the means, blah, 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 blah. I'm sick of it. And, all this talk about me being a mouthpiece for Ijos and all that, complete nonsense. Anyway, let's get back to the main point. The main point is that what has just been done to Rivers people is a heist. It is a heist, it is a scam, it is disgraceful. Some of the Rivers people who have been respected, people of quality, like my late father and some of my uncles, and even some of the fathers of some of the people who are siding with Wike now, would be turning in their graves that this kind of nonsense is being inflicted on Rivers people. I am beyond enraged. How dare they? Meanwhile, the Nigerian Bar Association has come out and said clearly that this state of emergency declaration is null and void, unconstitutional, illegal. Thank God the Nigerian Bar Association is not as tarnished as the Nigerian judiciary that keeps on giving Wike and Tinubu the kind of dodgy, dishonest judgments that they pay for. Several people have contacted me to ask me what the hell is going on. And these are people who don't know Wike personally, don't know Fubara personally, are not even from Rivers State in many instances. They're just shocked by why we're being treated like this. Now, we're told that the agenda is clear. 2027, Tinubu and Wike want to make sure that APC manages to control the state completely before the next election, and because they're desperate to secure Rivers State and indeed some other states in the south, south and southeast, because apparently they have lost loads of support up in the north, which supported them quite, to a large extent the last time. And so they want to they want to compensate for loss of support in the north by gaining support in the south, but they don't want to gain it legitimately. They don't want to win hearts and minds. They don't want to do development projects that will make people love them and think, hey, Tinubu is a great guy, Wike is a great guy, let's follow them. No, they want to force it on us, ram it down our throats so that we have no choice. And there has never been a proper election in Rivers State, actually. So I don't even know why they're panicking about election results 2027, because they're going to rig it anyway if they're still around. So anyway, I just think that this is an own goal. I think that they have made many, many, many enemies. I know that it will be very hard for me to forgive them, and many people have told me the same thing. And the Fubara has been suspended for 6 months, along with his deputy and some other state government officials, including, by the way, the 27 lawmakers who left PDP and then said that they hadn't. They are sort of collateral damage, but I imagine that they will be taken care of by Wike's war chest. They're not going to die of hunger. But what I want to ask is, Rivers people, are we ready to put up with this? I mean, we're not going to hit the trenches with machine guns. I certainly am not going to do that at my age. And I'm not suggesting that the boys, the militants, particularly Ijaw youngsters who threatens to blow up pipelines, I'm not saying they should go and blow up all the pipelines, but if there's no, if the oil output drops, we all suffer, But I'm just saying that I think that there should be significant protests that will, I hope, compel President Tinubu to rethink what he has just done, because actually this thing is so bad for his reputation, and it's really bad for Wike's reputation as well. And as for all those supporters of Wike who are jumping around going, on a mandate we shall start, I ask you, are you morons? What's wrong with you? Especially the ones from River State, are they not embarrassed that their state has been sold down the Mississippi? Look, I beg, I'm tired. Thank you for listening.